Blessings. I am Douglas Taylor. I welcome you to another episode of Digging Deeper with Reverend Douglas. In each episode, I respond to a question that has come to me from a member of the congregation or somebody who watches these episodes online. If you would like to send a question to me, you can do so at my email address, which is dtaylor@uubinghamton.org. Today's question is a little bit on the lighter side. It is what is your favorite UU joke? What is your favorite joke about Unitarian Universalism? So it's hard to pick just one. So here's one of my favorites. I was on an airplane. There was a little bit of turbulence happening, and people were getting a little scared, a little nervous, a little wound up. And there was this one big jolt in particular, and people started screaming. And a stewardess, was there in the aisle, and she said really loud, she said, "Somebody please do something religious." Well, I'm a minister. And so I stood up and I took a collection. So that's actually not my favorite joke. My favorite joke is this one. There's a man who had crashed on a deserted island, and he was really worried that he wouldn't survive. And it was years that he was there. And so finally, one day, though, he lit his bonfire and the signal got seen and he was rescued. And he's there on the ship with his rescuers. And they say, how did you do? He said, well, I was actually not that bad. If you look up on that island as we're passing by, you'll see a couple of things. And they looked, and there were 3 buildings up on the top of the cliff that they could see. And he said, yeah, that one there on the south side, that's my house. I built that and I lived there, and it was I did pretty good. And they said, all right, what else? And he said, well, on the other side, on the north side, that's my church. That's where I would go on Sunday mornings and pray. And they thought, wow, what a pious and wonderful man. He built himself a church when he was alone on this island. And he said, what? And they said, well, there's 3 up there. There's your house, and then your church. What's that one in the middle? And he said, oh, that's where I used to go to church. All right, so that's actually not my best and favorite joke either. That's a really good one, but here's my favorite joke. It was a Sunday morning. There was a guest preacher, and he was doing things a little bit different than what most of the congregation was used to experiencing. And he gets up and he starts in on a prayer. He says, "Join me in prayer," and he bows his own head and he lifts his hands. And he says with great emotion, he says, "Oh Lord, we know we are but dust." And he pauses. And in that pause, a voice, you know how loud and clear a 3-year-old's voice can be when you don't want it to be. A 3-year-old turned and said to her mom, "Mom, what's butt dust?" Service was pretty much over at that point. Blessings upon you. This has been Digging Deeper with Reverend Douglas.